Well, hello, it's Jewel here. Welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the live stream. Have a lot of great things going on for you on this particular evening that I am positive you are really going to benefit from. So, we are talking about LinkedIn tonight and specifically what it is that you can do in order to get calls from your LinkedIn, get the employers and the recruiters reaching out to you through LinkedIn. That's everything that we're going to talk about tonight. If you can see me and hear me okay, give me some likes and loves in the comments. I'm just going to check my devices to make sure that I am live and in the right place and all of that good stuff. Also, if you have questions about LinkedIn, if you have questions about job search, you can go ahead and drop them right here in the comments because this is what we're talking about in this particular edition of the live stream. So let me tell you what prompted tonight's subject matter. One of the things that happened today is that I got an email from someone who said he had really stacked up his interviews and it was based on new activity from his LinkedIn profile. And I knew that this would happen. You know, when I give strategies, when I demonstrate lessons, I know what the results are going to be, but sometimes you need to see them for yourselves, in your own life, which I completely understand. And that's exactly what happened today. So, as it turned out, he had a phone interview a couple of weeks ago. He has another interview coming up this week. And all of this was because the employers and recruiters came to him based on what we set up on his LinkedIn profile. It's really important to set up your profile the exact right way. If you don't do this right, then your efforts or LinkedIn are really going to not amount to a whole heck of a lot, which is obviously what we don't want to have happen. The first thing that I want to talk about is the LinkedIn mistakes that you're probably making that could end up really killing your chances at job search, really killing your LinkedIn profile. And I want us to get those out of the way first. And then I'm going to demonstrate exactly what I want you to do in order to make your LinkedIn profile work for you. My definition of making the LinkedIn profile work for you is that the profile is drawing people in, right? The resume is what we push out there. The resume ends up wherever we decide to put it. And, everyone has said, for decades, hey, go put yourself out there. And that means put the resume out there. But LinkedIn, you can't put it out there. It needs to be set up correctly. And what I've seen work is when we set this up correctly, what happens is employers and recruiters who are searching online, they will search for and they will find someone like you, obviously, preferably you. The reason I say someone like you is because no one is putting in your first and last name because they don't know who you are yet. So they're not going to search for you by name because that can't happen. They're searching for someone like you. They're putting in the expertise that you have. They're probably putting in your location, and we want you to come up in the list of results. So if you want to get results from LinkedIn, type results in the comments. I want to see who wants to get results from LinkedIn in their job search. If you have questions about LinkedIn, you can go ahead and pop them right in. I can see the questions come in on my other device. So we'll talk about that too. All right. First up, let's deal with some mistakes. And these are mistakes that I see all the time. I see them, in the before version of, the before and after LinkedIn profile. So mistake number one is a useless headline. Okay. A headline is useless when all you have in there is the default headline that LinkedIn gives you. And the default is going to be your current or most recent job title at your employer. So it's going to say VP of sales at Accenture. Well, the problem with saying VP of sales at Accenture is it doesn't reveal anything about you as an individual. Guess what? There are 1,000,001 VPs of sales everywhere just in the United States. So you're not telling anybody anything that is particularly unique or interesting. All it is a job title headline. And that right there, from the very first moment, is going to kill your LinkedIn profile. Why? When you come up, if you come up in the list of results, all the results are going to say VP of sales somewhere in your city, in Philadelphia. If 10 people come up on the results page and they're all saying VP of sales, as you are saying VP of sales, well, then who is the employer recruiter going to pick? They don't have any compelling reason to say, oh, let me pick this person who said something more interesting, more illustrative, more compelling on their LinkedIn headline. So we don't want to have that useless LinkedIn headline. Let's say more than just the job title. So there's another mistake that I see when it comes to making this LinkedIn profile work for you. And I just want to emphasize what making LinkedIn work actually means. LinkedIn is not really a platform for you to search for the different opportunities. Yes, that is obviously a function of LinkedIn. However, LinkedIn is really a platform for the employers and recruiters to search for you. So if you want to be searched for, get found, and get called, then that's what LinkedIn is for. If you want to get calls, go ahead and write get calls in the comments, because I definitely want to see who wants to get calls based on their LinkedIn profile. So critically important. Okay. So the other thing that is, oh, and I want to say hi to Rob. I want to say hi to Dex. Wonderful. Glad to see that you are both with me. Rob wants some results from LinkedIn. Dex just upgraded to LinkedIn Premium last week. That's critically important. So, I had this conversation twice today. LinkedIn prompts you to do, I'm going to take a detour for a second. LinkedIn is always serving up, kind of pop ups and different things that they want you to look at and want you to do. Here's one that I don't want you to ignore. If LinkedIn is telling you to try LinkedIn Premium, they give you a free month. I want you to do it. Do not X out that pop up. Take the LinkedIn Premium. Set a date on your calendar if you want to for 29 days out so that you can cancel it. But when you're in heavy job search mode, I really want to see you using LinkedIn Premium. If you can afford it, then I strongly suggest that you do it. By the way, don't get LinkedIn Career, get LinkedIn for Business. That's the one that you want. I believe it's $59 a month. Take that free month and burn up LinkedIn while you have that free month. LinkedIn Premium gives you so many benefits. I would need to do a different live stream about that, but that was the end of my detour. Okay. So the next mistake that I see that's killing your chances on LinkedIn is when LinkedIn and your resume don't match. One of the things that is foundational, it is a pillar in what I talk about as far as the path that I walk people down so that they can go from job searching to job found. One of those pillars is the 3D story. So your story is on your resume. Your story is on LinkedIn. Your story is what you tell people when you're in the interview. Your story is what people are going to see. It's their first experience of you. So, how is it going to be when the story is one thing on your resume and the story is something different on LinkedIn? These things matter. So, what you really want to do is be looking at LinkedIn and your resume. I mean, literally side by side. These stories need to match. Here's the danger of them not matching. Number one, really, there's only one. What happens is when the stories don't match, it simply raises a lot of questions, and the questions probably don't matter. Why this particular year was off, or why you're showing this one job in your early career on LinkedIn, but you're not showing it on the resume. When you get into an interview, that type of thing doesn't really pertain to you coming in and stepping into the position that you're there to interview for, right? When you have stories that are different, the danger in that is getting caught up in minutia, getting caught up defending your dissertation. That's not what I want to see you doing. When someone calls you based on your LinkedIn profile, the focus of the conversation needs to be the position that they're thinking about for you, not trying to figure out why one thing ended in 1998, but the same thing on the resume ended in 1999. No, make the story the same. The 3D story needs to be the same from all dimensions. You are the same person. You have done the same things, whether that story is on the piece of paper, whether that story is digital on LinkedIn or anywhere online, whether that story is something that comes out of your mouth in a conversation, in an interview, phone interview, Zoom, in person. The story needs to be the same. Okay. Other mistakes. And by the way, if you're making any of these mistakes on LinkedIn, you can go ahead and admit it. That's perfectly fine because that's what we're here to talk about. But if you understand what I'm saying when I'm talking about that story, go ahead and write story in the comments. And if you need help with your story, if you don't know exactly how to pull that together, or if you have put together a story, but people aren't really understanding it, or maybe your story is large, maybe your skill set is expansive. I call these big stories. If you have a big story and people are not digesting it the way you want, people are not receiving it the way you want, you can write story in the comments. I may do a whole separate live stream just about story. It is one of the pillars that I use that's critically important, the 3D story. Okay. Another mistake that I see when it comes to what's killing your LinkedIn profile is a sense of desperation. So it looks like a lot of different things, or it can look like a lot of different things, I should say. But, one of my pet peeves is when I see a LinkedIn profile and somewhere in there, probably in the headline, it says something to the effect of seeking new opportunities, open to new opportunities, looking for employment, any connect with me, any of these things. It's like you are almost on any other social media platform, and it's like you're going for likes, you're going for just people to see you. And I mean everybody. You don't need everybody to see you on LinkedIn. You don't need everybody, you only need the right people. Okay. So when your profile says something like seeking new opportunity, open to new opportunities, and everything like this, you're screaming from the top of the mountaintop, hire me, hire me. It smells desperate. Okay. And nobody likes that. So when I'm putting together the story for my private clients, I never write those things. Guess what? We're all on LinkedIn seeking an opportunity. Everybody, me, you, everybody, job search mode, not in job search mode, happily employed, or looking for work. Everybody shows up on LinkedIn for a reason. Okay. And it's because you want something, whether you want an opportunity, whether you want clients, whether you want to reconnect with professional people in professional circles, whatever it is, you have put yourself on LinkedIn for some reason. Therefore, it is unnecessary to waste that precious real estate under your name by saying seeking new opportunity. Plus, it smells desperate. So, what I'd really rather see in that headline is what I'm about to talk to you about as far as what's going to make your LinkedIn profile work for you. But if you say seeking new opportunity or anything of the sort, please take that off. For my private clients, I really like to use that real estate to talk about the expertise they bring to the table, what is unique about them, the value that they offer. Okay. Those are the things that I want to see in your headline. We already know you're seeking a new opportunity. Not to mention, there's no way you could use a phrase like that if your employer is looking at your LinkedIn. You can't say that. So, really, what I like to do is make your profile look like it is a fully fleshed out, carefully thought out LinkedIn profile. And that in and of itself says enough. Okay. So, you need to be confident in your profile and then just let it be. We don't want these profiles that are screaming from the rooftops. That's not confidence. So I'm going to show you what to do in order to get confident about your profile. If you have questions about your LinkedIn, questions about the mistakes, if you've committed any of them, that's okay. Don't be afraid to admit it. You're here to learn and you're here to come away from this live stream and do something better. So I'm always going to aim to give you very actionable things that you can do, literally right now. So let's go ahead and move into the part of the conversation about what to do with your LinkedIn so that you get those calls coming in, which is exactly what we want to see happen. If you need more calls from LinkedIn, go ahead and tell me more calls in the comments, and I'm going to show you right now exactly how to get them. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we are going to go through this demonstration. All right. So you can see my LinkedIn now. Let me just check my other devices to make sure that we are all set. All right, perfect. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you mine as an example. So this is my profile. And we're going to go down to the keywords. Keywords drive your profile. Let me say it loud for the people in the back. Keywords drive your profile. Okay. So I have keywords that pertain to me: resume writing, job coaching, job search, etc. Now, where are the keywords going to come from? I'm going to show you. So let's go to another LinkedIn window and show you what to do. Let me make sure that you can see this window. One of the problems that I have found is that, why on earth is it not letting me in? Whoops, for some reason that popped over to Indeed, and that's not what I want. All right, let's try this again. Okay. So one of the big mistakes, another big mistake that I see on LinkedIn has to do with using keywords that, I'm just going to say it, friends, straight up wrong, just 1,000% absolutely wrong. And it is simply not what I want to see you do. So let's go ahead and hop on over here. This is a new LinkedIn window. And let's say I'm looking for a job. So the job that I'm looking for is going to be Vice President of Marketing. Okay. I'm going to enter that. And then I'm going to go to jobs. All right. So let's say I want to work for Dunkin' Donuts, VP Integrated Marketing Communication. All right, wonderful. Let's go ahead and scroll down. It says all of this, all of this, all of this. Here's what I wanted to show you, this part here. Where do you get keywords from? Guess what, friends? LinkedIn gives them right to you. Top skills. Now, right now it says I have 0 out of 10. I'll talk about that in a second. Let me go back to my discussion about LinkedIn Premium. And there's a reason, there are so many reasons that LinkedIn Premium is a good thing to have. It does really require an entirely separate live stream. However, what we're going to talk about right this second is that LinkedIn Premium, when you have that, it gives you competitive intelligence about other applicants. So what is it telling me about this particular job? Well, first of all, I'm in the top 50% of the applicants, and I'm in the top 50% of 55 applicants. So this makes a difference, friends. When you see a job has 13 applicants, 50 applicants, that's a far cry from 495 applicants, right? So you need to know this information. What else does the competitive intelligence show us? All right, so it tells us how I match based on my LinkedIn profile. Some of my skills match, current role, past experience. It tells us the seniority level of people who have applied for this job. So we're going for VP integrated marketing. Well, guess what? 19 other VPs have applied, 19 other directors have applied. So they're on the come up. They want to step up into the next position. 5 people at the manager level have applied, also on the come up. 5 senior level people have applied. Some of you don't have a degree and are feeling challenged by that. Well, you can look and see how people are stacking up against you when it comes to something like education. So LinkedIn knows I personally, Jewel, I have a master's degree. 28% of people have master's degrees, half of people have bachelor's, 16% have a master's degree. So this one, I misread this one. 28% have an MBA, which is what I have. Okay, great. Tells you location of applicants. All right. Now, here's why I love LinkedIn Premium and why I strongly suggest that you definitely take that free month and even keep it going if your job search lasts more than 30 days. So, what you want to make sure to look at are these top skills. Now, I'm going to show you this. This says you have 0 out of 10 top skills among other applicants. I'm not worried about that because I'm not actually in marketing. So this doesn't necessarily apply to me specifically. But if you're in marketing, then you're likely to have some of these skills. Probably not going to have all of them. However, there's a difference between having all the skills, like you've done these things in your life. There's a difference between that and what you actually wrote on LinkedIn. What do I mean by that? A marketing person is probably familiar with these 10 things: social media marketing, strategy, email marketing, sponsorship, strategic communications, digital marketing, brand management, digital strategy, PowerPoint, public speaking. These all look like things that a marketing person would at least be familiar with. All we're going for is familiarity. These are called skills, okay? Skills mean you're familiar, not that you are, absolutely 101% expert level. So, in general, these look like skills a marketing person would have. If you're in marketing, you'll probably have some of these skills. And then all these check marks, some of them will be green. They're all gray for me. Some of them will be green for you. What are you going to do with the ones that aren't green? So I'm going to show you. Assuming that you do have these skills, you just perhaps didn't write them on LinkedIn, we're going to make the following adjustment that I am positive you are going to love. Okay, so let me put my skills side by side with my LinkedIn profile and then allow you to see both. Okay. Let me get it so that we can see everything we need to see. And I'm going to make this a little smaller. Momento. Yeah. Good. Now, where did the skills go? They're always going to be down towards the bottom, and there they are. So you should be able to see the skills over there. Okay, wonderful. And then my profile is over here. And I'm just going to resize this window a little bit. Okay, so this is my profile. And you can see where I have the skills and endorsements, which is this section here, which right now starts with resume writing, job coaching, couple other things. So what we're going to do in order to make this profile really work is we're going to go ahead and click on add new skill in my existing profile. And I'm going to go ahead and add another skill. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add in all of these things. So it says social media marketing. And I'm going to add as many as I have room for. Strategy, email marketing, And I'm just going to pick these from the drop down. Sponsorship, strategic communications. It would be wonderful if I spelled that correctly. Digital marketing. Now, by the way, I'm doing this as an example. When you do this, I mean, make sure you're familiar with all of these things. If there's something here that you just haven't heard of or never touched, don't add it in. But most of the time, when I walk my private clients through this, they say, oh, yeah, I have done that. Oh, I do have such a skill. So a lot of times you do have these skills. They just weren't necessarily on your LinkedIn profile, just for the simple fact that you happen to pick other skills. So I think I have everything: social media marketing, strategy, email marketing, sponsorship, strategic communications, digital, brand management, PowerPoint, public speaking, digital strategy. Looks like I forgot that. Digital. Come on back. Okay, digital strategy. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. All right, wonderful. So let's just look at the screen with my profile on it. And let's make sure I have those skills. Yes, they've shown up here. So you can see social media, email, strategic communications, brand management, digital strategy, etc. Wonderful. Now, let me show you what happens with the job. And we're just going to refresh this screen. And I'm going to make it take up the whole screen so that it's all that you are looking at. Okay. That's my profile. And I believe it was this for Dunkin' Donuts. All right. So this is the job. And let me make it a little bit bigger for us. VP Integrated Marketing. This is the job. And just going to refresh it. Okay. So now, instead of having 0 out of the top skills, guess what? I have 3 out of the top skills. How long did that take me? It took me longer to say it and explain it than it will for you to actually do it. But it takes, a grand total of 3 minutes. So it gave me 3 and I was at 0. And all I'm going to do when you do it, I should say, all you need to do is repeat this process. And you can add in marketing communications, brand development, web design, integrated marketing, leadership, creative strategy, time management, and do this until you are at least 8 out of 10. So, this entire discussion centers on doing what it takes in order to get the employers and recruiters to reach out to you. And guess what? When that happens because they've searched for you and they have found you. That happens because the recruiter is saying to himself, okay, we need someone in integrated marketing, for Dunkin' Donuts. So they're going to type in things like, well, looky there, integrated marketing. They're going to type in marketing communications, and then they're going to type in Atlanta, Georgia, and you're going to come up in search. So this is what you do to get that phone ringing, to get that email pinging. All righty. I trust that lesson was something that you can take away and do today if you need to. And make sure to do this for every position that you're interested in, because this is what is going to get the employer and recruiter to land on you. So the private client I had who talked to me today about the interviews he has stacked up from LinkedIn. I just wrote that in the email and the posting announcing this live stream and made that the subject of this live stream because it occurred today. This occurs all the time. And this is exactly what can occur for you when you take this lesson and apply it to your own LinkedIn profile. Okay, so let me look at my other device and see if I see any questions or anything like that coming in, which I do not. And hello to Keisha, Pamela, T. And I think I already spoke to Dex, Rob. Wonderful. Glad to have you with me. So, couple points. Number one, if you want me to talk to you about an individualized job search strategy that's going to work for you, type game plan in the comments. I or my team will reach out. We'll do a free call. It's 15 minutes. And I want to map out the game plan for you as it pertains to you, not general advice. We're going to talk about what's happening with you and your job search, what you're going for, all that good stuff. That's thing number one. Thing number two, if you happen to catch me on the replay, which I know a lot of you do, you can also type game plan in the comments. I will ultimately see it. You can also put your questions in the comments. I will see those as well, and I'll be able to respond, reach back out, and we'll talk. We'll talk about what you need to know regarding LinkedIn. We'll talk about what you need to know regarding your job search. All right, half past the hour. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Glad to have you with me today, and I will see you at a future moment inside of our group.